welcome everyone on this geopolitical channel. So we are continuing to follow up the Turkish offensive on the North Syria, and today it's a ninth day of this offensive, and we have just learned a couple of hours ago that a ceasefire has been agreed between the Turkish authorities and the American authorities. Today, the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence, as well as Mike Pompeo, the US Secretary of State, came with an important US delegation to Ankara to meet President Erdogan to find a possible agreement, ceasefire. Everyone was very skeptical. Most analysts said that President Erdogan will not stop at this stage this offensive as he has didn't reach the goal to set up a safe zone without YPG. So we were very skeptical before this meeting. So we did not expect such announcement by Vice President Pence, but it seems that American now will be very firm towards the YPG fighter. Actually, it's very interesting that now your American authority use this acronym. Before they, instead of referring to YPG, they said Kurdish fighters. Now they said YPG using the same, let's say, acronyms and Turkish authorities are using. And he said, Vice President said that those fighters, referring to YPG fighters, should leave the safe zone. And also, it's very interesting whether the American would have agreed about the extent of 444 kilometer length and 32 kilometer deep, and they agreed about that this the size of the safe zone. So to the highest, for sure, satisfaction of the Turkish authorities. We expected to validate such zone of such size, because the goal is to repatriate around 2 million Syrian refugees which are now in Turkey. So you need a quite, let's say, important size to host such amount of people, and so they agreed about it. So we will see over the next hour whether those YPG fighters from the Rojava Set Program Republic will leave this zone, this safe zone, or not. We can be quite skeptical about it because the same agreement have been also have been reached in August, and at that time we saw that the YPG did not leave this safe zone. And so now we can imagine that the same fate could happen. But the big difference with also August is now the YPG fighters receive a very big hit on over the last days. According to the Turkish authorities, 497 YPG fighters have been killed. This death toll is impossible to be to be claimed from an independent source. No one is able to confirm from an independent source such a death toll, but the Syrian Observatory of Human Rights is very clear. Hundreds of YPG fighters have been killed over the last 9 days, as well as 6 Turkish soldiers and around 50 soldiers from the Syrian opposition. So we will see over the next hour whether we will see withdrawal from YPG fighters. If not, the hostilities could resume within 5 days, and probably Turkey will continue its operation despite the mounting international pressure on them.